And the opener is very quick, so let me just...
Yeah, it is.
Ready.
Just give me a thumbs up when it's over, because I can't tell sometimes, you know?
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
Stop! What foolishness is this? Manos must be served!
Hello and welcome to the worst movie ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst movie ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host, fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci, Bob Hasek. Hey guys, how are you? And why are we doing Manos? Hands of Fate.
We are celebrating our final episode because we finally found it, guys. Manos, the Hands of Fate, with which translates directly to hands, the Hands of Fate. 1966. And here's a new rule for the podcast: whenever a movie is written by, directed by, produced by, and starring the same person, it's a pretty good indication it's gonna suck.
Don't bother.
Yeah, unless it's Tarantino, who
True.
But I guess, yeah, I
He's,
guess other people.
If he's starring in it, though, he's going to say the N-word and he's going to suck somebody's toes.
Yeah.
So be prepared for that.
All right, Bob, how are we doing today, Bob? And are you ready to describe this wonderful movie? I guess it's a movie. I would say unhinged thought experiment, but whatever you want to call it.
Hold on. Isn't Manos the god that they worship? So the god's name is Hands?
Yeah. We're off to a great start, guys.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Bob. I just realized the god's name is Hands.
I'm wide awake and ready to describe the movie. Send the button.
Okay. Nice.
Hey, Bob's about to do one of his famous movie explanations.
What? Where? Why, what? Come on, man, out with it. We haven't got all day to waste. Just over there.
All right.
All right, so this movie is definitely, as you said, it already has an MST3K. That's who rediscovered this movie. That's what brought it back into the lexicon. And I'm going to start off with my alliteration.
Okay.
Torgo touches torsos and triceps, trying to tease a tryst.
I only say "oh no" because that is like word for word one of my most offensive.
That's okay.
Just kidding, but it's close.
That's okay because it's double true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the explanation is almost as golden. Here we go. Michael and his wife and daughter and dog and convertible hit the road for high adventure in the deserts of El Paso, Texas, only to get lost and discover a cult of the Master and his many wives, Demon Dog, and manservant Torgo, who has his own theme song.
Yes.
And this movie wasn't real. Nothing is real.
Yeah. Fair. That's basically the long and short of it, Bob. Thank you.
I agree. We can't be sure of anything, and this makes me less and less sure every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to YouTube.
Okay.
And remember, my friend,
Poo-poo and pee-pee on YouTube
will affect you in the future.
Here's the thing: when things get like the MST3K and the riff tracks treatment, the comments are pretty on point. So, here we go. I've been assigned to watch this movie for my film class because it's often considered the worst movie ever made. LOL. The guy playing Torgo must have had a hard time acting while high on acid the whole time during his shoot. There's no way out of here. It will be dark soon. There is no way out of here. That's one of the quotes. Jesus, this is just the trailer. 1/3 of the entire trailer was just them getting lost and talking about how they shouldn't have gotten better directions. Next comment. Classic between the great acting, storyline, plot, visual effects, even the character names are brilliant. You don't get any better than this gem. Manos, The Hands of Fate, starring no one, coming to a theater near you. This trailer is pretty much the entire movie. I love the random xylophone slides in the music. I heard that the guy playing Torgo played the role for some free drugs. No plot and low-grade acting, and one stoned actor Torgo makes it interesting. And then the last one, this has to be the worst movie. The teenagers have no contribution to the rest of the movie. Torgo is pretty strange, and his music is perfect. I can't count how many times they show that picture of Manos. This trailer basically shows the whole movie. This holds the record in my heart for the world's worst movie in existence. So
couldn't agree more. Spot on this time.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think it's because the people commenting are ones that have seen it, made fun of elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the movies that we've done, like don't have a massive understanding in the culture that they're bad, like this one does. So people actually
there's no
have their own opinions.
this is like in the headcanon as a bad movie. It's just one of the
You
like
know
it.
it.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's go to test number 1, the worst of its kind.
Sure.
The airplane, the telephone, the electric light, the vitamins, radio, and even television.
It's the worst of its kind.
All right.
Man, just that beat just hits so hard.
It does.
But I'm a drums man, and I like the rhythm section. That's really all that is. All right, first one, yeah, you and me, Rob. We got the rhythm. This first one, it's got to be a movie for the future. If you haven't heard of Cosmic Sin with Bruce Willis, it's something I came across. I think it was 2021. It's an epic star adventure where a alien race shows up. They're like humans, basically, like Plan 9.
Okay.
And the whole plot is that Bruce Willis and others need to annihilate them before they annihilate Bruce Willis and company.
Okay.
But it's got a 6 on Rotten Tomatoes, and the trailer looks as derivative and tropey as you can imagine a movie being.
Okay.
So I really want to see it, and I think we should do it for the pod. That said, Night of the Living Dead, and that's 68, with Dwayne Jones, a 95.
That's a great movie.
The Blood on Satan's Claw with Linda Hayden, a 73. 2000 Maniacs from 64, Connie Mason. You can see why these are on here. That's a 45.
Yeah.
And then finally, Blood Feast with Mal Arnold, a 38. Giving us an average of 51.4, not exactly lofty, but how did Manos do?
See, the way I reviewed it, I wrote about this for work, and I actually don't know the score, but I did a 1 for a movie, but a 5 for entertainment value, so I averaged it and got a 3, which would be 60%.
Right, so we've got 60 and 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bob is much closer. It is a 0.
Okay.
It is one of the 2 zeros, 3 zeros. I know that Gotti was a 0. Okay. Which Battlefield Earth, I think, was a 9. So that just goes to show how bad this movie actually is. Negative 51.4, and worst, let's throw it to test number 2. Ain't that a pitch?
Sure.
How about that kinky sex?
I can't resist your charm, Danny boy.
Wow. What a pitch.
All right.
Who goes first?
I'll go first because I think it's been a week or two.
I'll go second.
And Bob goes third.
Okay.
All right.
Who's on second?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just kidding.
All right, Abbott. Husband, dog, daughter, and wife have a run-in with Torgo and fear for their life. The master has bitches, or maybe it's a coven of 6 witches. You have failed us, Torgo. For this you must die.
Very nice.
Accurate.
The servant of Manos seeks a new wife to sequester. Dumb father seeks to protect her with Winchester. No characters to relate to. Torgo you have to hate too. He's a ceremonial, petrified wife molester.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay. All right. There once was the master who was kind of the big cheese, who surrounded himself with a bunch of Jennifers and Whitneys. Torgo was the real attraction, trying to create a distraction from the fact that he's the first person in history with thick knees.
Bob 4.5.
I'm giving Bob a 5. That's a 4.75 for
All right.
Bob. The thick knees? Oh my god. Yo, his knees are dummy thick.
He had like the
2
ricket or
C's.
something. Yeah.
2 C's. Dummy
I had to
thick
work hard
knees.
I had to work hard for rhymes with thick knees.
I mean, big cheese works pretty well.
Yeah.
I laughed when you said big cheese because I was like, "Where is this going?"
Yeah.
But I didn't see knees coming. So
Yeah.
you get a 4.75. I deserve to lose this one. Can you believe I
All
said
right.
that? Test number 3, the most offensive.
The sky to which she had once looked was now only a covering for her.
Diarrhea.
The most offensive. Hooray.
Number 5, obvious and off-putting overdubbing.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
they?
That's gonna rear its ugly head again in worst production.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I won't go too far into it, but I do wonder if the actors said the lines and the audio was so bad that they decided to go into studio and say them again, and try to match them up, or if they recorded the audio and then tried to match the audio in film, knowing that they were saying the line. Because it seems like the latter, which would be the worst choice you could possibly make for audio in a movie. But they're so far off sometimes. Like, the master is literally laughing for a good, 4 or 5 seconds, and his mouth is closed.
Yeah.
It's pretty unbelievable, and I find it offensive. Number 4, this is telling teetering Torgo to take your travel bags.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what monster Torgo is yet, so when I have to see the struggling meth addict carry your bags, it seems a little mean. Number 3, fuck this family, but fuck this feeble-minded father especially.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay the night here with this delusional crack addict that's got a staff and wobbly knees.
I know within 10 minutes.
Thick wobbly knees.
I know within 10 minutes of our arrival, he's made sexual passes at my wife and said the master would find her delicious. But, I mean, the next Motel 6 is 10 miles down the road.
Yeah. Well, I don't have another mention of this, so I'll just say it now. Are they trying to give you the impression that they have driven into
Yes.
like a warp or something? Because Torgo says there's no way out. They drove there though, so they could just follow the road back out, unless they drove into some place that's in another.
I think you're right, because when the cops are talking to the
plane of existence.
When the cops are talking to the teenagers, they went down that road. There's nothing down there, so I think it's like it's like platform 9 3/4 on Harry Potter.
Right,
you had to believe in it, and then you go through it.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the fact.
Yeah, they could have explained it, but
they should have given us a little bit more of a hint. Smart guys like us pick up on that, but not everyone. Anyway, number 2, Wily window watching wizard and peeping Torgo the pajama-peeker. These are 2 different grown men with a guest in their house. You go outside, run around to the window, and look in at a woman changing into her pajamas.
Yeah.
Sure, they plan on capturing her as a wife or whatever for the master, but just super creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy peaky. Yeah.
Creepy peaky.
I don't love it. And finally, number 1, Torgo touching dormant temple temptresses.
Fuck Torgo, dude. That's what I've learned.
Yeah, fuck Torgo.
Yeah.
He was getting handsy with the women that are stuck to a pole.
Yeah.
Until Master wakes up and summons them or whatever. So
yeah.
Fuck Torgo. That's what I meant, because you thought, at least I did, that he was a sympathetic character who was under the
under a spell,
under the thumb of the master. But it turns out he's just like a rapey douchebag.
Piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
A gimpy piece of shit with bum knees. Yeah.
But we'll get into more about Torgo and his horrible behavior later. Right now, we're going to throw it to Rob's ad read. Hey, Rob. This guy wants a peek at your goods.
Permit me to see one. Bring in the big one.
Rob's ad read. Go ahead, Rob. Bring in the big one.
Today's episode of The Worst Movie Ever Made is brought to you by Uncle Scuzz's Fuck Bucket, the raunchy burger joint with an attitude. Start out with a shareable platter of Uncle Scuzz's famous fried pickle flaps, but make sure you save enough room for your fat fucking gullet for any of the following sandwiches that will dominate your hunger. The classic, the rip-roaring ranch burger, the queso I hardly knew her, and the double-decker slut pile. With 480 beers on tap and just as many dipping sauces, Uncle Scuzz's Fuck Bucket also has lighter options, but only if you're a total pussy. Don't fill up on the chips and let Uncle Scuzz's Burgers make you their bitch. Uncle Scuzz's Fuck Bucket, a family restaurant.
I think if you were to like LLC that and make yourself a food truck.
Yeah.
You know, one shaped like a fuck bucket or something clever like that.
We have adult milkshakes. They're $18.
Yeah. I think you do well with Uncle Scuzz's Fuck Bucket.
Thank you.
So thank you for coming on to the Worst Movie Ever Made podcast, Uncle Scuzz's Fuck Bucket. Let's throw it to test number 4, the worst dialogue.
Yeah.
When I heard this dialogue, I thought,
how can any race be so stupid?
Hooray.
I mean, that's a fair question. Number 5. This is rawed up.
Say, where is she?
Oh my God! Michael!
Now, don't get wrought up. She's probably playing hide and seek. Okay, Debbie, we see you. Come out, wherever you are.
Maybe she slipped into one of the rooms.
Debbie?
Debbie!
Debbie?
Debbie!
Torgo, have you seen Debbie? No. She's gone. Help us find her.
No.
She couldn't have gone outside. The door's bolted.
For God's sake, don't panic. She's got to be in here.
I don't know.
To the outside.
In the kitchen.
Why did I make this clip so long?
That door's bolted too.
Outside, Mike. She's got to be outside.
All right, we'll look outside for her.
What?
Is this the whole movie?
Debbie?
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 Deb.
What was that? What the fuck was I thinking? Why was that like a 2-minute clip?
Because he told her not to get wrought up at the beginning, but then you proceeded to show evidence of her getting wrought up.
Yeah, that's
so,
okay. Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I
to
was
your credit,
thinking.
Chris, you wanted to show us how raw she really got up there.
Wrought up.
Yeah, she was up with raw. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I love the part where she opens the door to the temple and doesn't look in it. She just like screams at a mild volume her daughter's name.
Yeah.
And then when she does not respond within a second and a half, she closes the door, not peering into the room for reasons. Anyway, number 4. I just realized I should have made this number 5 because of the name. 5 Fingers.
Ooh.
You are a troublemaker. You deserve to die. Die? I may die, but I do not care. The child must live.
She is right. We will not kill the child.
But Manos would not approve. The law of Manos exists for us only.
Manos loves women. She will grow up to be a woman.
She must die. When the master hears of this, he will be furious.
Yeah, there's a little taste for you.
You are all mad, the whole lot of you. The man, yes. The child, no.
Okay, now you're good.
Why are these clips so fucking long, Chris? What are you thinking?
It's because I think when you're watching, you don't realize how much like parlor jazz is playing in the background between lines of dialogue.
Man, well, at least we're filling them with quips this time. But yeah, that's the second slap I think that we've seen or heard so far.
Yeah, let me replicate it real quick. Ready?
Yeah. It's like Like just a tap. I love the fighting in this movie. It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, number 3 starts to get real good now. Jump on ya.
Again? How many times do you have to be told?
Like, wow.
Oh, hell. Have a heart, will you? Go chase that other couple.
What other couple?
Those idiots that went deeper in the desert.
Find them and chew on them a while.
We know that this road goes nowhere, so now get. No smart stuff. We ain't trying to jump on you. Just get.
Those are police.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, it's hilarious dialogue between the two of them.
Yeah.
Is I don't know. It like, have you ever seen that video of the guy that's cutting like steak at a hometown buffet, and it's a training video, and he's like, "How's the weather out there?"
Yeah, he looks like Brad from. He looks like Brad from Home Improvement, but like dimmer. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the dialogue in this movie sounds like to me. It's like soap operas are made to be bad at this point on purpose because it's like if you're not acting that poorly, it's not a soap opera. You know?
Yeah.
It's like then it's like a show. But in this movie, they're obviously not trying to act that bad, and this is not even the worst acting test. But just found that so funny. Let's throw it to number 2. This is Beat It.
Your power fails you. You are losing your control. Even Torgo defied you.
And he was destroyed even as you shall be.
Your power does not affect me anymore. Even your other wives do not trust you. See, I do not fear you, even though you beat me. Beat me again. Beat. I do not fear you.
I just want to point out that during that spot where you don't hear any slaps, he is slapping her across the face mercilessly to the point of bleeding.
Like 11 times or something, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those slap fight competitions?
Yes.
It's like Russian?
Yes.
Yeah. It's fucking sick. I kind of like it. I would watch that. Like if it was a UFC thing and the UFC fighters just slapped each other for money instead, I would totally be into it. All right, let's throw it to the best one we have, and this is number 1.
Snare roll. You know what? Fuck it.
Okay, for the purpose of parody, I named this one Not Now, You Dumb Bitch.
No, Maggie, we can make it. We'll rest here for a minute. We can make it.
Let's go back. They'll never think of looking for us at the house.
You know, you might have a point there.
Please, Mike. Please, I can't go any farther.
Listen, we can lock ourselves in the kitchen. I have my gun.
Snake. There's a snake. Just to prove he has a gun, I guess.
2 less bullets, though. He's a 6-shooter. He's fucked.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back.
Okay. It might be the safest place, especially since they're out here looking for us.
Scared, I'm scared. Where's my puppy?
Please, Debbie, not now.
Snooky wants mush. All right, well, there you have it. I probably could have done a better job with the dialogue because I feel like there was worse. But those were the funniest to me. So let's throw it to test number 5, the worst production.
Sure.
How are you gonna make this movie?
Shooting first and asking questions later.
Right.
That's true.
That's pretty true for this movie. So a lot of questions will be answered with the worst production, leaving still lots of room for things that are going to come in the future. So my tagline is no budget, low budget. So the budget was actually $19,000. Okay, but really, that's no budget. So
yeah, you might
this
as well
movie,
not.
okay, just go along for the ride. Here we go. This movie was born of a bet between the director who played Michael, the guy in the movie, and a now famous Hollywood writer. This guy wrote like famous movies. Between those two, they had a bet that they couldn't make a horror movie that was easy to make and could be made by Michael, the director. First of all, he won the bet because he made the movie. But at what cost? At what cost to the viewing audience, right?
Yeah.
So the entire film was shot with a handheld camera that could only record 32 seconds of film at a time. So that explains the choppy edits, okay?
All right.
It was also shot completely without sound. So that means all the lines of dialogue were dubbed later. And they were dubbed later by three men. The director, one of the stars, I want to say was the director and two of the stars. And then the guy that played Torgo was part of the trip they made to the recording studio for dubbing, but it was unclear if he actually did his own voice or not.
Okay.
And a professional voiceover actress. So the guy that played the master, his daughter played Michael's wife, the younger woman. Yeah.
So he wanted to fuck his daughter in a sense.
Yes.
Yeah. And apparently when she first heard her dubbed voice, she cried. Because it wasn't her. It was a professional voiceover actress who played her and the daughter.
Huh.
And she did not do any of her own actual voice work.
That was incredibly interesting. I really love this segment, especially when we dig in like that deep. Okay, well, thank you for that.
I'm just gonna save that for my later tests.
Okay.
Fucking love it. Wonderful. All right, for now, we'll throw it to test number 6, the worst acting.
The saucers are up there, and the cemetery's out there. But I'll be locked up in there.
It's the worst acting.
Number
1, Daddy.
Go, don't do it.
How many times do we have to chase you kids?
Oh, gee. Holy cow, man. You'd think we're doing something wrong.
Well, whatever it is you're not doing, don't do it somewhere else.
Why don't you guys leave us alone?
Come on now, no wisecracks. Just go on home.
Okay.
Get going. Get going.
All right already.
Those are police.
Yeah.
Again, this dude like rips it fucking 80 miles an hour out of there in the sand after getting caught drinking and fucking in his car on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And the cops are like, "Yeah, there go those goofy kids again. We're gonna have to pull them over later this afternoon because they don't work.
You're not allowed.
They just pull over and make out and drink."
You're not allowed to have an open container in your car, sir. So please chug that before kicking it into 5th gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, ridiculous. I love how he says, "Holy cow, man," because that was a time where "holy cow" was actually something that you say that makes you sound like cool. You know, now it makes you sound like a total nerd. to say "Holy cow!" Even when we were kids, like if I was in elementary school and another kid like reacted with a "Holy cow," I'd be like, "Well, he's a fucking zoog," you know.
Yeah.
But I just realized that means that was a voice actress, the very same voice actress that did every woman's voice in this movie.
Correct.
Huh.
Okay, cool. Number 2. This is number. This is poor Pepe, the puppy.
Get back in the house, damn it.
My God, Mike, what happened?
He's dead. Pepe's been killed. Get back in the house, honey.
Mike, what kind of place is this? My God, what kind of place is this?
I'll take care of everything, honey. Get back in the house.
A professional voiceover actress, huh?
Yeah.
So many questions have been answered.
Yeah.
Did she cost like $10,000 of the $19,000 budget? Like, or did they like? Because I mean, she doesn't sound very good. You know, she doesn't sound
look what
like
she's working
much of
with,
an actress to me.
You know, yeah. Look what she's working with, though.
I mean, that's fair, but like
she's got to at least try to match the energy of what's playing out on screen, and I think
I feel like
pretty effective there.
I feel like she can't go minimalist because then they're like she knows in her head if I just make the sounds that she would be making, then I'm not doing enough to earn the paycheck for being in the booth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's doing this extra like.
I mean, this is pre-digital, so you imagine most of the budget went toward equipment rental and film.
I'm sure, and the cars and stuff, unless it was like the director's couple
Their
cars,
personal vehicles.
But they had to have police officers for some reason, so they had to fake the costumes and put like a light on the cop car and make it look like a police vehicle or something. So
yeah.
True.
I imagine that takes money, you know. All right, number 3. This is kill.
Manos has decreed it. Kill! Kill! Kill!
Can't you just imagine like some like emaciated slave like hammering away at a player piano, like just out of frame? Like, can I please have my lunch break? And they're just like, no, we need you to play that trill 150 more times.
Well, we ran out of budget, so I had to use my personal slave to do the piano work. I want to elaborate on this, but for fear of ruining the catch-all, I will just say, why don't you hit this up on YouTube, our YouTube video for this episode, and you can see for yourself what happened there. Rob, where could they find that?
www.theworstmovieevermade.com, and you click the little YouTube button, and that will take you to, you guessed it, YouTube.
Hey, and if you are on YouTube, here's my plug that like everyone does, which is like shameless and makes me feel bad about myself. Click the subscribe button, ask us for notifications so that when the video comes out, you can see it before anyone else. You can be the first person to comment on that video. And you know, you don't have to press it. You can gently caress it. You can punch it. You can just rub your lips on it. Either pair. I don't care. But subscribe and hit the notifications. That was a little freestyle for you. Let's go to number
4 yard.
This is
Sure is good to get away. Damn the rain.
Vacations are fine, but this one should be great.
Yeah, the gang's coming up for the weekend. What a blast.
Why does she say at the end? Contemplatively. I tell you why. Because Because the voice actress felt like she had to give the woman something to end the conversation. Again, overworking it. What is she worth?
Yeah.
Half of the budget? I don't think so. I hope they only paid this woman like $1,000. I hope she was a struggling voice actress because she's dead now and she doesn't deserve it.
The hum hints at the end question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, deal. Let's just say it now. We'll pull it from the catch-all. There was a fucking sequel set up.
And a prequel.
Because the hum, as you're saying, Rob, if you want to say that that's them setting up a sequel, I will support that because at the end they said the end question mark.
Yeah.
Will there be a part 2?
This is pre-sequel territory, but they did end up making one, yeah.
They did end up making one, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It was like the first Easter egg.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
All right, let's throw it to fact or no fact.
Yep.
You didn't come here for crappy poo-poo facts like this.
The parts of a flower are so constructed that very, very often the wind will cause pollination. If not, then a bee or any other...
It's not even an appropriate volume.
No, it's not. And I'm not fixing that in post either.
No, you came here for some stone-cold facts from Bob, like this one.
In my land, women are for advancing the race, not for fighting man's battle.
Between the Berry Maze is so good, though.
Yeah. No, they rip.
Okay, so I was looking to come up with a name for the fact or no fact game, and I literally came across so many things. I ended up putting this in this. So as filming dragged on and on, the increasingly disgruntled crew began to refer to this movie as Mangoes, the cans of fruit.
Okay.
So I'm calling this Mangoes, the cans of fruit.
All right.
Oh, that's not the first fact. Okay.
No. So we're looking for the lie among facts. Here are 4 facts, and here are 1 lie in no particular order. Here we go. The actor who played Torgo was on LSD during filming.
Okay,
second one. Only 2 cast members were paid for their performances.
Oh my God.
Okay, third one. Tom Naiman, who played the Master, helped John Reynolds, who played Torgo, make Torgo's knees. Tom Naiman, who played the Master, painted the portrait of the Master and his dog.
Yeah, great job.
And the fifth one, the opening night receipts at the drive-ins and theaters completely made up for the budget in just that first night.
All right. I'm just going to go backwards here. I believe the opening night receipts on that because
I do too.
If you see a trailer and the trailer looks good, I mean, how many times do you see a trailer and you go to a movie and you're like, this piece of shit?
I mean,
it's
probably one of those trailer didn't look good. And there probably was there one in 68 or whatever? Was there a trailer?
I mean, the comments I got on YouTube were from a trailer, but I'm not sure if it was like on TV or if like it was.
I think
it
was a retroactive trailer.
Or it could have even been just like the bumper you saw before an attraction you were going to see at the drive-in the previous week.
I'm just guessing that they had so few movies.
Well, I'm assuming
at this point, they weren't coming out like 3 a week.
But this is clearly a B movie, which means they would have gotten receipts for a double feature for people seeing the A movie, right? Because you pay for a double feature, and that goes towards both films. So I could see this. I could see this making money on the first night, and then having a really brutal second week drop off, and like not making.
Right, but they only have to make $19,000.
Exactly. So if it's in every theater or every drive-in, or like a substantial amount of
$3, like how much do they actually need?
So
like 7,000 people to see it.
Yeah. So Tom Neiman painted the portrait of the Master and his dog. I mean, if he's a good painter, I mean, it's a self-portrait, and it was pretty good, to be honest. So
Yeah, it wasn't
I can
bad.
see that. I don't know anything about him, and that goes in line with him helping make Torgo's needs. If he's an artistic fella, then he knows how to, design.
If we got to
props.
make your knees thicker. Your
We
knees
gotta
aren't
give
thick
you-
enough yet.
Your knees aren't thick enough. It says only 2 cast members were paid for their performances. I think this is the lie, because I don't think any cast members were paid for their performance. I think this was like a Troll 2 type of thing where
Love
there's
it.
like they do a casting call for like extras, and then when they show up, like, you're getting top billing, and here's how it's gonna go down. So, and then I 100% believe that Torgo was on LSD during filming. I 1,000% agree that. So I'm gonna say number 2 is the lie. Only 2 cast members were paid. I think it's a lie because I don't think any cast members were paid.
I agree because I feel like it's all or none. So I immediately chose that as my lie as well. Should I double down for the sake of Manos?
Let's double
Let's
down.
put 2 hands on this.
Yeah.
All right, I'm doubling down.
All right.
This means that Bob double loses, and he hasn't double lost in a long time.
Yeah.
And I
or
can't
we
wait for him to
we double lose. It can go either way.
No. We take 1 loss each.
Okay.
So
Which is
neither
better
of
than
you
2 losses
approached
out of
this. Neither of you approached this topic because it was in the YouTube comments. The actor who played Torgo was on LSD during the filming, and
Yeah.
that explained his confused behavior and incessant twitching in virtually all of his scenes.
Okay.
That was a fact.
All right.
Another fact
Hey,
is that only 2
Bob.
cast members were paid for their performances.
Fuck! No way!
Who was paid?
Jackie
Fuck.
Naaman Jones, who was the master's daughter, was paid a bicycle, and the
That doesn't
Doberman
count.
was paid a bag of dog food.
We're right. Rob, we're still right. Those are not payments.
Yeah, those are.
People don't even bother to put a pink slip for a bicycle. Give me a fucking break.
Let's hear Bob walk through the rest.
No
of
one was paid. What else? What else do you have, Bob?
Tom
You don't get a
Naaman
double
did
win.
help. Tom Naaman did help Torgo make his knees.
His knees?
Tom Naaman
Why?
did paint the portrait of the master and his dog.
Okay.
Although the
Why?
lie is that opening night receipts at drive-ins and theaters completely made up for the budget. That is actually a fact from Mother's Day, which is our next movie.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
right.
We are watching
I
Mother's Day,
stole
the horror
a
movie
fact
from
from a
1980.
future movie.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
giving
wow.
myself less fodder to work with in my next movie.
Fair
You
enough.
see, Rob,
Fair
you
enough.
see, this is why you don't move to Tennessee, because if you're in the
Yeah.
future, you can use facts from future movies.
That's true.
But I don't think that you win, Bob, because dog food is not
Yeah.
payment. And
Yeah.
I would argue neither is a bicycle.
Are you
Yeah.
a dog? Do you know what payments are to a dog?
Does a dog know it's acting in a movie?
Yeah. We're gonna
Does
put
the
an
dog know?
asterisk on this
I
one.
just-
I think. Yeah.
I just pulled information from the websites that I saw. All right, fine. You want to call this a wash? We'll call it a wash. But I'm not giving you
Yeah,
the win.
this is the
All right,
first
it's a wash.
fact or no fact wash. Wash. I'm writing it
Fine.
all over my
Fine.
outline. Wash, which means that everybody wins, which means I win. All right, let's go to the catch-all.
Fuck you.
This gives me a plan.
All right.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Fuck the music. Fuck the editing. Why was that taillight scene? You know the scene where the family gets pulled over because they have a taillight out? Was it just to introduce the police
Yes.
for their later scenes that are completely inconsequential?
That are completely irrelevant to the story.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna add on to that with my 0 seat belts.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like I
Um,
understand
yeah.
it was of the day, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zero
if you're gonna drive into another dimension, wear your seatbelts. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I was also saying, I'm just going to piggyback on this, and we kind of mentioned it earlier. Drinking and driving without a seatbelt in a convertible. Just
Which
What
the teenage
you know that dude was getting some roadhead too, for sure.
Yeah, he was getting a blowski.
and increasing the danger element. Because like he like told the cops to fuck themselves twice.
Yeah.
And just skid it out. I mean, that girl was probably all about it. I mean, nice convertible, giving her free whiskey, zooming out of there right in front of the bitch cops that like are just little babies.
Yeah.
Not all cops, not all, but those two.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to jump on them. They're not going to jump on them.
They're not going to listen. I don't think we did anything wrong making out and drinking whiskey and going 100 miles per hour on this dirt road. I don't think we did anything wrong. I don't get. I think it's you, Rob. Yeah.
No, it's your turn.
Oh, it is.
That was my piece. Yeah.
Lucky audience gets to enjoy the entire 3-point turn they make when they hit a dead end.
That's a through line in bad movies. They have it in Troll too when they backed out the van. It's like they show the whole process of backing down the driveway, turning around, and going. It's like, no, you show them, flip it in reverse, have them go a couple, then hard cut to the next scene. That's how you should be doing it. But they need the runtime.
All you need to know is that they're turning around.
Yeah.
As soon as you make it clear that they are turning around in their car, that's all the scene you need.
Yeah. Exactly.
You don't need to watch the entire process on a narrow road.
Yeah.
That takes way longer than it should. But many, many, many scenes in this movie take way longer than they should. Go ahead, Bob.
I honestly think that they use, this is my catch-all, I think they use convertibles in these low-budget movies to avoid the inside the car multi-camera rig.
That's 100% the reason why.
Totally. Rob detailed this in a previous episode. I think it was. I feel like it was R.I.P.D. or something like that, where they had like a no, it wasn't R.I.P.D. But they had somebody like driving on the wrong side of the car because the angle of the camera was easier and better. I don't remember which movie.
They climbed into the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Yes, they climbed into the passenger seat.
That was Plan 9. Yeah.
But that was, I think
it?
he mentioned that as a reason from a different movie that they made.
Yeah, because in Psycho, Norman Bates, he climbs into the passenger side because they had a tracking camera on the driver's side of the car. So like they just never address it, but he always gets him through the passenger side. So
that's right.
So they didn't have the camera out of the way.
So it is and isn't related.
Yeah, they probably saw it in another movie. They probably saw it in another better movie, and then there was like, let's do that, not knowing the reason behind it.
Yeah, but 100% they don't want to have to show the inside of the cars. That would.
Yeah,
you need a camera small enough.
It's a low budget technique, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think it's like going to be spanning across other low budget movies.
Yeah, and
for sure.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Bob, because my next point is the wife clearly says it's getting drafty. Let's close the top of this convertible, and then they drive off and they never close it. And that's my next point.
Well, the daughter complains, and he's like, "Oh, I guess we have to." Like he was such a
right in the beginning, right?
Yeah,
he is the worst father I have ever seen, and I've seen some movie fathers that kill their kids.
Yeah, I've seen The Frailty. Yeah. I think you're up, Chris.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I'm caught off guard again. Why do we all need to get out of the car to ask this guy for directions? Especially with a convertible.
That's a very good point.
They literally all get out of the car to walk up to Torgo to ask him for directions. And they're in a convertible and 12 feet away from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just an observation. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to go earlier in the movie than Chris is. The endless landscapes at the beginning when they just drove and drove and drove and drove.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the opening credits. And they just didn't put the opening credits over that scene.
Huh. They didn't want to ruin the shot.
I had no idea what kind of movie I was getting into, but I thought Manos, The Hands of Fate could not possibly start that way. So I was like, Bob definitely put the wrong movie on the drive. There's no way that this is the movie that we're watching.
Man.
You know? And then eventually they showed the title, and I was like, holy shit, this is the movie I'm supposed to be watching. I still don't believe it, but I guess I believe it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room here. The South Park slaps. You know when the kids get into it and they fight, and you just hear like
so good.
They're supposed to be coming to blows, but all you hear is just like.
Yeah, but also the one more like it's a good comedy. It is actual comedy. It is a real like punchline that people use in actual movies because the timing of the slaps in this movie are hilarious. It's like, all right, enough. Manos will no longer allow it, and then you hear like what? she had to get in one more because she knew her like adversary couldn't slap her back. You know, but like she waited until just she's flirting that line. Like you watch cooking shows and they're like, all right, hands up, you can't like put your chimichurri on the steak or whatever. And then you see a douchebag like Aaron Sanchez putting the chimichurri on the steak anyway because he knows like they're not going to disqualify him for that. Yeah. Like that's what the slap was, and it was like great comedy. Yeah. Anyway, how could they possibly conclude that that dog is the one from the portrait?
Yeah.
In the portrait, it is just eyes and ears. It's like a silhouette of a dog with green eyes.
It's like a ghost dog,
and it looks more like a pit bull than it does a pinscher.
Yeah,
or whatever it was. I think it was a pinscher, but I'm not sure.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I love when they arrive. Like they decide to stay at the house after like only a couple seconds of like arguing. And they're like, okay, strange man with big knees, take our bags to your strange room in your strange dwelling. Yeah. Just take all our shit.
Rob. Yeah. Rob, I already found the minute. There's the minute. All right, man with strange knees. That the master helped craft because he decided that this crack addict didn't have appropriately thick knees. Well, how are we going to explain that he's wobbling? We can't see he's on LSD. The Torgo's doing LSD. Let's make him look like he has lower leg issues. So we'll pat his knee.
You know why they made his knees big like that?
Why?
There's actually a reason. Because
please tell me.
Because they wanted to make him a hunchback named Igor, and they thought that'd been overdone. so they decided to make his knees really big.
They didn't make him a hunchback. They made him a thick knee.
W thick.
That's a fact, man. I'm not holding back any facts from this.
Holy
There's too many.
Shit! That is hilarious. Oh my god! You know those people that weirdly like they have thick knees.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
They hire. They hire a consultant who's like assessing the wardrobe. He's like, He's got like the white glove. He's checking the set for dust. That guy's knees. I need more of that. No one's gonna believe the terror of Manos, the Hands of Fate, unless this guy's knees are 50% thicker.
I was thinking like he looks like an inmate trying to escape a prison, or like trying to smuggle his inmate friend in like 2 kilos of cocaine in both legs. Or something, like and the COs are like, clearly you have drugs strapped to your knees, sir. Yeah. We're gonna take you to the side room and remove those kilos of cocaine that you're trying to smuggle into our prison.
Unbelievable.
Whose turn is it? Anyway,
that was Bob, so that's me. Just profound lack of urgency on all fronts. Like the daughter's missing. Like you said, Chris. Like, it reminded me of like when my son is going ballistic. He's like turning 3 in May, and my daughter, who's 5.5, I instruct her to like, hey, can you go calm down your brother? And she like walks over to him for like 2 seconds. She goes, hey, can you calm down? And he's just still screaming and hyperventilating. And she goes, I tried everything. I don't know what else to do. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, you think that was an attempt? And it was just that, but in the movie. It's like the dog, they open the door like for 2 seconds. And the dog dies. The dad's like, oh, well, he's dead. We'll just bury him. Bury the dog.
Well, I only had one thing for what we're watching, but now I have two, thanks to you. I'm going to piggyback on yours. If you want your kids to have a temper de-escalation method, have them watch Daniel Tiger. Do you know what that is?
Daniel Tiger? No.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like canon.
It's a Mr. Rogers based. Yeah, Mr. Rogers.
It's a Mr. Rogers canon universe cartoon where Daniel Tiger is the son of the tiger that was the puppet on Mr. Rogers or whatever, and they try to continue his legacy with like lessons that. Anyway, what's effective I find with both of my sons is when they get really upset because they have a song on Daniel Tiger. One of my kids is screaming. And the song like pops into their head, and they're like, "When you feel so mad and you wanna roar, take a deep breath and count to 4." And then they'll count to 4, and then my 2-year-old is like, "I'm calm now." Just saying, like, it's fucking dope that they watch the show and pick that up, and like,
I gotta try that out.
I can start singing. Yeah, I can start singing the song, and they'll want to sing along because they like vent their rage better that way, you know. Anyway, my turn, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
Here's the kitchen, the bedroom, the sacrifice temple, which Torgo didn't let them see. But again, when looking for the daughter, the mother opens the door to the temple and then says her name through the tiny crack in the door that she made, and conveniently doesn't look inside, which I mentioned already. Yeah. But had she just opened the door, she would have like traveled into another dimension to where or just outside, I guess, to the temple where master and wives are sleeping. So I thought that was very funny. Go ahead, Bob.
Speaking of the master, Tom Naiman, who played the master, his daughter was Jackie Naiman Jones, and she played Debbie. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
But his wife, Jacqueline Naiman, made the masters and wives' costumes, and their dog played the demon dog.
Huh.
It was a family thing.
Huh. Fascinating.
Well, I do have a comment on that, but I'm gonna wait until it comes up in my catch-all.
I'm just gonna say one thing very important. You need to save the girl because he wants women, and girls grow up to be women. So that was one of the lines in the movie. I had to rewind it like 10 times. That's a girl, and girls grow up to be women. It's like, no, it's fucking shit. Why are you actually saying this right now?
Yeah, that was pretty close.
Wait a minute. I'm deducing that a girl becomes a woman. Why was the father running aimlessly in the dark outside?
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Okay,
no answer.
I thought the wives fighting, verbally and otherwise, was hilarious.
Yeah,
especially the experimental jazz backdrop.
Like the Django Reinhardt fusion.
It's true. It was hilarious.
After I read the research, I realized they had no sound, so they had to throw in something to fill the sound, and that made sense.
Okay. All right.
That's why the slap sounded so bad, though, is because they had to make the slap sound after filming.
Yes. All sounds, yes.
The whole hand thing. I feel like they really shoehorned that in with the little hand-shaped torch that Torgo had, and they had to make it clear that the master's robes had hands on them, and then one hand
by spreading his arms wide.
Yeah, and then Torgo's hand got caught on. I feel like they were approaching the third act, before they were approaching to the point before the master was shown, and they're like, we gotta do something with the hands. It's in the title, but we just never really. Fuck. We really painted ourselves.
We don't want them to be idle hands.
Quick, get the hand torch. Unreal.
It was really dumb. Okay. O Manos, who dwelleth in the black chasms of night, was his summoning of the god that never appears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I thought the wife, one of the master's wives, was like molesting the sleeping husband, Michael, while he was tied up on the tree.
Yeah.
I thought,
yeah,
like there was more things than offensive that I didn't say anything on during your bit, your offensive bit. That was one of them.
Well, yeah, I think she just like grabbed his dong, right?
Yeah.
Grabbed
Pretty much.
Mike Crotch.
I don't have much left to say about this, but I'll riff on you guys. But I just wanted to play this for you guys real quick.
Where did this place come from? It wasn't here a few minutes ago.
I don't care. Let's see if we can get some direction.
I don't care. I don't care that this building appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, so I want to say all the fight scenes rival those of John Wick. I think that they're just as believable.
Yes.
Very thoughtful. But Torgo was backed into a corner death. No, he's fine. No, he's fine. He's fine. He lives that. Yeah. He lives that experience.
Yeah.
He survives it.
Yeah, like did they kill Torgo or not? And then after his hand was removed.
Oh, he had the tickle fight. He was
okay. Hold on. I'm gonna get to that. Torgo was backed into a corner in the house by the master, and the implication is that the master is finally killing him for his transgressions.
But then he doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
But he doesn't. Yeah, but Torgo survives that. That's all I mean to say. He's backed into a corner to death. But oh no, he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And then he's not fine. And then he's fine. And then he's not fine. And then he's missing because he just ran away.
Yeah.
Without a hand. No,
Yes.
Rob already mentioned the child bride. And I thought that was offensive. Or at least
it is offensive.
But I'll just take this as my second to last catch-all. Harold P. Warren. That's the guy that played Michael. He was the director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He only did 2 takes of each shot. And if things didn't go well in the shot, he reassured the novice cast that the magic of Hollywood would fix any errors in post-production.
Wow.
Holy
It's
shit.
Pro Tools. Yeah.
It's fate. Hands of fate.
Yeah.
Rob?
I'm just getting my facts straight here. Go ahead, Chris.
Master, the women have been at this for about 30 minutes. We think it's a semi-violent disagreement.
All right, I found what I was looking for. There's a prequel too. It was Manos: The Rise of Torgo.
Yeah.
And then the sequel, Manos Returns. But they both came out in 2018.
Yeah, they both came out way later, way after the MST3K. MST3K was like
just
90s.
I just can't believe you do that.
Or 96.
Because even if I was that kind of film buff where I found pleasure in making fun of Manos, to that degree, where I wasn't just making a podcast about it, but I want to watch it once a year. I don't know that I'd go see the sequel. I think half of them probably did. But how many of them are there? This movie the sequel probably didn't do well. Nor the prequel, I imagine.
Let's see. I'm looking up The Rise of Torgo right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's take a look.
Can't be good.
This is probably unrated.
It probably is unrated. It's loading right now. Yeah, no critical, no audience.
Yeah, no one watched.
Told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mainly for the people who were in it who wanted to find some redemption and didn't get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably.
There we go.
My last catch-all is kind of dark. John Reynolds, he played Torgo.
Yeah.
He actually committed suicide by shooting himself in the head with a shotgun a month before the film premiered.
Probably.
And he was only 20. Wow. He was only 25 years old.
Wow.
And
first of all, he looked like he was 45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was his only film appearance. No surprise.
So he capped himself?
He did.
Huh.
Were they larger than average caps?
A man died, Chris.
Oh, we took it a step too dark.
Yeah, you thought you were taking it too far. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
I'm done. You rapid fire, Chris.
Okay. I only have like 5 more. Maybe give the wives a stick or a fork or something. The Torgo sacrifice is going to take way too long this way.
Yeah. Yep.
Now Torgo is dead. He was jostled to death. Oh no. He's fine again.
They didn't jostle him quite hard enough.
He's quite a sorcerer, laughing with his mouth closed. I mentioned this before, but there's like a 4-second clip of him like waving Torgo's hand, laughing, and his mouth is closed. But that's a rather flammable hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Too flammable.
Yeah, it also looked like the bones were actually just wicks.
Yeah.
And not bones to me. But, you know, I don't know the power of hands the god. Maybe he turns your bones to wicks.
Yeah.
And inflames you or something. Who knows? And then the last one that I had, we kind of already mentioned, but it was the end ? And then I asked if it was a sequel setup, and apparently it was, because 50 years later. 50 years later. Yeah. There was a sequel. Okay, let's throw it to what we're watching.
Do we have? I think we have one more clip, Chris.
Oh shit, my bad. Shoot.
This one's called "Master Wants You."
Oh yeah.
Why?
Don't you ever try that again, you beat!
The master wants you, but he can't have you. I want you.
Stop that talk this instant, you hear?
He wants you, but he can't have you.
Mike!
All right. So, what we're watching, guys?
There's that.
It's all you of Earth
If you're not taking our recommendations, then you're...
are idiots.
All right.
True.
Let's go around the horn here.
Number 1. I started watching Fallout. I don't know if you guys have heard the murmuring. I think it might be a swell at some point. Well, I'm not saying it's going to be the next Game of Thrones or anything, but people right now are talking about Fallout, the show that Prime Video is doing. And you know what? I didn't play Fallout, the game. I'm sorry. I know like half of our audience is offended when I say that. But I didn't play it. Sorry. But the show is pretty fucking good so far. It's the kind of show where they're writing the tropes, but then when they lead you to the conclusion of the trope, they twist it on you.
Okay. I can get behind that.
So winking because they know what you're expecting, and then they make it not that.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate, because that it takes it to a level where, you know, like it may be just above surface, but most shows now are just surface level bullshit. Fallout is surface level bullshit, but then twisted so that they're like, we know what you were expecting us to do, we didn't do that. And they do that like 7 or 8 times an episode, and I'm thoroughly entertained. Plus the universe that they built, for 220 years after the nuclear fallout of a worldwide atomic battle happened. It's good. The scenes are good. The sets are nice. The costumes are great. The acting is good. I'm into it. The Fallout.
Cool.
The show on Prime Video. They're doing a good job. Number 2, I started having my kids, and I'm not going to say Daniel Tiger. I had them start watching Bluey. I forced them to, because
Bluey's
I heard
good.
that Yeah, and it is. It's good. Like they have like a moral, and it makes me want to be her dad because the weird like Fox like Australian father is just like so fun, and he's doing shit that I could do. So like feasibly, I could be like more like this Australian Fox father, and I'm trying to live to that standard, and I appreciate you, Bluey. I see you, and this is why
It's
people
wholesome.
like Disney because yeah, it's like it's wholesome and it's clever, and the kids kind of like it now, and I appreciate you. I see you, Bluey. You're doing a good job. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't recognize the reference to the video game series that you mentioned. That just shows my age or lack of gaming exposure.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a great game.
Okay, I watched a movie that was too long to mention last week because I was only halfway through it when we watched when we were recorded last week. It's Once Upon a Time in America.
Okay.
It's
the
same director. The same director that did Once Upon a Time in the West and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is Sergio Leone. He directed it. Spaghetti Western guy. It has Robert De Niro, James Woods, John Forsythe. It has a handful of other actresses in it.
I knew it had De Niro
really, in it. It's like 3.5 hours long.
Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah. That honestly killed it for me because like I'm not the kind of guy that watches or binge watches shows. And I think that's the reason. I can't get into a story for that long.
90 minutes is my upper limit.
Once the story goes beyond a few hours, I'm like, okay, the story could have been told in a few different, like the Lord of the Rings. I think they did it right. I think they did 3 movies, in one story in 3 movies, and you kind of just like force yourself to take a break between each one.
Yes.
Whereas this was like, okay, we're just going to show this entire movie and expect you to stay focused the entire time, and I just couldn't do it. So it was good. It was very good, very well done. De Niro did an excellent job. He played the same character in 3 different ages, in 3 different times of. It's like a story of prohibition, pre-prohibition, prohibition, and post-prohibition, and like gangsters' role in each. And it's good. It's just too much. It's just too much. And then because I love South Park, I watched They Live. Have you guys watched They Live?
Oh,
is that with Roddy Piper?
That's with the glasses that make you see the world for like what it really is, right? And
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on Tubi, and for no other reason, I just saw it on Tubi, and I said, you know what? It's been a while since I've seen this, and it didn't disappoint. Roddy Piper's in it. It's a John Carpenter movie. And the cripple fight in South Park was based on the fight between Roddy Piper and another character in this movie.
They're side by sides, and it's spot on. They animated Jimmy and Timmy beating the shit out of each other to that fight scene.
If you haven't seen They Live, it's not a big commitment. It's an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's just it's John Carpenter all the way through. Like if you saw Escape from New York and you're like, you know what, the pacing of this was okay, then you'll like They Live.
Right.
Well, so Bob, let me ask you: do you like Roddy Piper?
Well, he's campy, and I like him for the camp that he presents in this movie.
Well, I asked because
him. Go ahead.
Well, I asked because you put Hell Comes to Frogtown on the poll, which is also starring Roddy Piper, and you put it on the poll because you recognized it as a terrible movie. So I wanted to know where you stood on Roddy Piper as an actor. But now I know you think that he's like the right kind of campy for low budget films, or what have you.
Yes, he's not a good actor. He fits the mold for what you want to see. And Hell Comes to Frogtown will reappear.
He has charisma.
He has something. He has Riz.
He's got Riz. He's got an X factor.
Dripped out.
But next
out
week
Riz
it's going to be. Next week it's going to be Hell Comes to Frogtown versus Cosmic Sin versus whatever Rob says.
All right, sounds good. All right, so I've been binge watching stuff for work just to so I transition from writer to editor soon. So I'm just trying to get as many reviews in as possible because I like writing them.
Good for you, buddy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On here.
Steven Seagal Lawman.
Killing
It's basically Cops, but with Steven Seagal. It's on Tubi. I watched this movie called Alone on Netflix. It's one of those like abduction, women trapped in a cabin, escapes in the woods, guy with a gun chasing her type of movie. Like 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes. Fucking amazing. Great. Dr.
On Frozen Ground.
What's up?
It's like on Frozen Ground.
This is way better. You're talking about the Nicolas Cage and John Cusack movie?
Yeah, but like a woman running away from a shed and getting shot at.
Yeah,
in the
basically. But the antagonist looks like Ned Flanders, so it's totally worth it.
Oh, great.
Dr. Giggles. It's an early '90s slasher, and the doctor. The victims play it straight like they're regular slasher victims, but Dr. Giggles is like he speaks exclusively in puns. So like,
God, really?
he'll stab somebody with like 2 thermometers and be like, take 2 and call me in the morning, and then he'll like cackle and run off. And then I have a big list, but I'm gonna end with a serious one. Red Dot. It's on Netflix. It's a Swedish language film. It's about 2 couples, husband and a wife, that go to see like the Northern Lights, and they have like a run-in with some rednecks. They fuck with their car, and then they shouldn't have. And then it's another like abduction / like escape in the wilderness kind of plot. But the third act twist will make you fucking throw up.
Oh, really?
It's like I can't say much. You root for these people, and then like you learn more about the situation, and you're like, oh, this is gonna take a really dark turn, and it does. And you should watch Red Dot. It's like 80 minutes long. Watch it in the original language. Watch it in Swedish with English subtitles, because the English dubs are too lively for a thriller, and it takes you out of the movie. So just watch. It's fucked up.
I prefer to read the captions.
Yeah, same
in the original language.
But yeah, Red Dot. If I have to recommend something aside from Dr. Giggles, it would be Red Dot.
Dr. Giggles.
Okay, cool.
So fucking funny, dude.
If I had to recommend something that isn't Dr. Giggles. All right, let's throw it to bad credit names.
Stupid! Stupid!
Bad credit names. I love when I do my own audio. The quality is such shit. Always like if it's me talking into my phone.
Yeah.
And that's why the audio is so shitty. But that's part of the fun. All right, I have a lot this week.
All right.
Jacqueline. She did the makeup.
Okay.
So you guys
didn't even want her last name on it.
That was the guy's. That was the master's wife.
Oh, okay. Jacqueline. Jimmy Cruller Hatton.
Okay.
Cruller is in quotes. And I wonder if he just really likes the donut, the Cruller.
He loves the Cruller.
Glazed Cruller.
I like it. Hey, look, I like a good Cruller. I get shit for that all the time, but like you dip a Cruller in your black coffee. Oh.
Yeah.
Nothing better.
Yeah.
Matthew the Duke Zinkel.
Okay. Zinkel.
Okay. Steve Austin.
Nice.
A guy named Steve Austin.
Stone Cold.
He is. William Swamp Thing Pena.
Okay.
Swamp Thing. Trey El Monstro Kang.
Okay.
El Monstro. Someone named Gwill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gwill. Gwill. That's it. Grace Cool Dog H.
All right.
Last name H. I've got 2 more. Mike Sinister Prague Wheeler.
Okay.
And then Alexander Squidlord Williams.
That definitely is the winner.
That's the winner this week. Alexander
Right.
Squidward.
Lord. Okay.
Yes. All right, throw it to the offensive minigame.
Sure.
Say, Lieutenant, to get that funny odor, how could I miss it?
That's the smell of the offensive minigame.
All right.
I do smell it. Multiple movies, all blood sport, or obvious overdubbing.
Overdubbing.
Of course, we're talking about The Quest. That's the current season champion. Reorienting. I'll leave that.
Okay.
Or pajama-peekers.
Pajama-peekers.
Yeah, I guess pajama-peekers.
Well, we don't need a bonus round, but we always provide it. Country of Africa.
Okay.
Or Touchy Torgo.
Touchy Torgo.
Oh, Touchy Torgo. Totally.
I mean, I feel bad for
Torgo,
Africa for being demoted from a continent to a country. But yes, I think rape is worse.
Yes.
Torgo
than a gaff.
Pajama peeker. Yeah.
All right, let's throw to the movie comparison.
This gives me a plan.
Let's compare the movie.
Yeah.
Negative 45.8 and worse for The Quest. Manos, The Hands of Fate. The Hands of Fate. Negative 51.4 and worse. Right. So, takes the opening bit. Rob, you had a nice 4-star last week.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset that I haven't won one in a while. But Bob, you win with a 4.75 this week.
Yeah.
Offensive, go figure. Manos, Hands, The Hands of Fate. Wins again. Dialogue, what's worse, this or Manos? Obviously, it's Manos.
Manos, yeah. 100% without a doubt.
Yeah.
The clunkiest of narratives for The Quest, or low budget, no budget for Manos. Manos again.
Yeah.
Acting, Manos again.
Yep.
Demerits, unnecessary. Go ahead, Bob.
No, I was just saying they don't even get to act because there's no sound that's authentic. Like it just seems like a no contest for the rest of the season. But I'll play along.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have done Manos last episode, but we did Plan 9 last season, and I felt like we had to throw in the other consensus worst we ever made.
Yeah.
Unnecessary flashback. Or undetermined demerit. What do you want?
I guess the teenagers who are just drinking and driving and mouthing off to the cops. I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Teenagers.
What's a word for a rebellion that starts with a D?
With a D.
What's that?
Defiance.
You said D.
A T.
Oh, a T.
Tipsy teenagers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Police tormenting teenagers. What's a word for police that starts with T?
I don't know. Tax funded tyrants.
Terrorists.
Tax funded.
Tyrants. Terrorists.
Torturing. Tax funded torturing teenagers.
Yeah, sure.
That is the hardest we've ever worked for alliteration on demerits. Obviously the worst movie ever made, and the worst movie of the season, and we'll see if we even bother to come back next week, is The Hands of Fate, Manos. So, Hands, The Hands of Fate.
Yeah.
Next week, we're doing Mother's Day. An 80s. So I thought that we were trying to do a Jennifer Aniston movie. So I accidentally posted. And you know what? not for nothing, I don't post them on the feed unless I make sure that I have the right movie. And my way of checking to make sure that I have the right movie is by looking up the Rotten Tomatoes score, because I'm not the one that has to guess it. And Mother's Day with Jennifer Aniston and whoever had a 6.
Yeah.
So I was like, that must be what he's talking about, because it's got a 6. So I posted a story with the poll, but it's not that. So we're doing Mother's Day, 1980, I believe, was
this
the
has
year
got to
it
be.
was made.
It's got to be worse. Like as bad as 6% is, this is worse. This is so bad. This is close to Manos. I know my bad movies, and this is bad.
Okay.
You do know your bad movies, and that's why we gleefully accepted you into our wonderful warm womb that is the worst movie ever made. We love you, Bob. We love you, listeners.
So warm that I just fall asleep and drop the hat.
Warm.
Hey, you know what I did?
Milk.
I got myself a breathing machine that just like forces oxygen down my throat until my tongue feels like a piece of cotton when I wake up in the morning.
Nice.
But it does help. Let's talk about what we're doing next week. It is Mother's Day. The worst movie of the season so far that will beat Mother's Day is Manos: The Hands of Fate. Rob, why don't you plug us and throw it to Bob, and he can give us his last word. Love you, listener. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. You can find us at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. You could stream us. You could watch us. You could vote for us. You could watch trailers that we make. You can email us. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram. You can do all sorts of really cool stuff if you just go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Click the subscribe buttons. Leave us reviews. Listen to our archives. This is like episode 148 now, I think. We're up there. We have something for everybody at this point. So, we do.
Check those archives.
Start at episode 1. Start working through it.
I had a student, a 7th grade student, tell me yesterday that our trailers, that star me, are cringy. And
cool.
I told him,
then we're doing the right
don't
thing.
watch them. I said, just don't watch them then. All right.
Yeah. Please.
All right.
Please.
All right, Bob. What's your last word?
I don't know. I thought about the Jackie Chan one you did, and I was like, man, that was great. But you know, I'm old, I guess.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, last word. Thick knees.
Thick knees. Ugh. See you guys next week.
Jelly Scoop.
Where did this place come from? It wasn't here a few minutes ago.
I don't care. Let's see if we can get some direction.
Bye, Jelly Scoop.
Bye, Jelly Scoop.